Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Check Service Industry Podcast. I am Reyshan Parker, and if you haven't yet, please go watch my television series Beyond the Check Worker Owner Edition, now streaming on Amazon Prime and Fox's Tubi TV. Tubi TV, it's free TV. Also, Chefs of Texas will be out sometime this year, so keep a lookout for that. Anyway, I have a fantastic guest today. She is a wonderful friend of mine. She is a financial advisor from Lighthouse Financial, and I promise you, these ladies could really help you with your future retirement planning better than anybody else I have ever encountered.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome, but we're not going to talk about that today.
Oh.
Today we're going to talk about curry with the wonderful Lighthouse Financial.
I don't even think you told my name.
Moya
yet.
Campbell.
Oh. Hey, everybody. Moya here. I can't tell my name right away.
No, I save it to you because I like to introduce you with a grand entrance.
Okay.
I like to build you up and then present you.
Sorry, my control issues are taking over.
Ladies and gentlemen, Moya Campbell.
Hello.
So we're actually hanging out in your office today?
Yeah, my beautiful office. My beautiful conference room, actually.
It is a lovely conference room.
Thanks.
So I travel now. I travel to wonderful places like Lighthouse Financial.
It's an exciting place to be.
It is. So first of all, you are a wonderful company and a wonderful woman.
Oh, thanks, Reyshan.
How did you become such a fantastic person, Moya? Tell me the story of Moya. Where did it all start?
I mean, really, it's just kind of like, I woke up like this. I mean, it really is. I mean, I did. That's what happens. I wake up and I'm like, well, damn. No, I have to give it to, I guess, my parents and where I'm from, my background. I think it's really special because I am first generation American on my mom's side of the family. And I think that other culture has kind of dripped in and it has just really helped shape who I am. My grandparents are from India. They were what's called Anglo-Indian. So my mother is actually last generation Anglo-Indian. So back in, I guess, before the 40s, when India was still a colony of Great Britain, you had like this whole mixed race of people that lived there that were Anglo-Indians. They were mixed.
So basically English and Native Indian? And
yeah, in India, exactly. So it's like you had these Indians that were more like a British citizen, but they were Indian. So that was my grandparents.
Copy that.
Now, when India gained its independence, then they became like looked down on and they all scattered. And so there's barely any Anglo-Indians left, especially in India. So they all went to either England, Australia, or Canada. My grandparents went to England. My grandfather was part of the British Navy. And so then they had their 3 daughters, but he was an engineer and with Lockheed Martin. And so he moved over to the States in the late 60s. And that's when my mom came over here. And so I was raised in Atlanta, but I grew up on Tybee Island from the age of 10 years old. And so I would say that's another reason why I'm pretty amazing. Is growing up in such an amazing city, Savannah and Tybee. I love it. And I think it's just helped shape exactly who I am.
It's a very chill atmosphere in Savannah and Tybee, right? So we're pretty laid back. We're not real city folk, but we're not full on, bumpkins either.
We're not right. Like we have culture. We're like laid back people with a little bit of culture. And then, I mean, I'm all about the island life. So being close to water, I mean, you have to be at peace and just enjoy it and be grateful that, that we live in this amazing place.
Is that why we went with Lighthouse Financial? Was it just no?
Oh, well, the name.
The name,
the name.
Because of Tybee's Lighthouse, or?
Yeah, the name, because we were originally something else. I don't know if you knew that.
No.
So my mom started the company back in like 2003, and it was Savannah Senior Solutions.
Oh,
actually, she went on this quest to just help people that were already retired and make sure they understood what they had, and it was kind of like a quest that she went on to help people. So then the company, it started forming into a business as well. And so I moved down here in 2007. I was living in Atlanta and I moved back down to work with her. And so it was Savannah Senior Solutions until it was 2010 or 2011. And we constantly were getting phone calls. Like people thought we were like Senior Citizens Incorporated, or just thought we were just like a service to like help place seniors in places or do other things.
So it got confusing.
It got confusing.
I can
and
see
then
that.
there was also a lot of things going on.
But it's what she did.
It is. She helps.
It was
yes.
the specific what she
but
still does.
But it wasn't that exactly what we were getting calls about. It was more like senior daycare types.
Like, hey, can you watch my grandpa for a little while?
Yeah, then they were looking.
We'd like to go out to dinner.
That's exactly what it was. I mean, it would be like, because there's a Senior Citizens Incorporated
Is that a thing?
here.
Is that, you can hire
Adult
adult daycare?
There, yeah. I mean, not adult daycare like to go have dinner, but I mean, some people need 24-hour care, and some people like, if they go to work, or they just need respite care. Like if they're full-time caregivers, they need a break as well. So there are facilities where, like people could go for a day, or maybe like a Meals on Wheels. You've heard of that type option. So we'd get calls about that. So anyway, we decided that we needed to change the name of our company, and also like Savannah and Senior. As we were thinking about the company in the future, we didn't want it to just be like only Savannah, only seniors. And really, does the aging generation now really want to necessarily be seniors? I mean, my mom, the president, is kind of our demographic, but I damn sure I'm not calling her a senior.
Mm-hmm. And for your own, you're like, well, I don't know if I want to call it the senior play. I don't know. I mean, I'm only 74. I don't feel like I'm that old.
You're only as
old as you feel.
You're only as old as you feel. So, and I see that because I see people that are in their 60s that look like they're like 90 and act like it. And I see people hitting 90s
and they look like they're 60.
I mean, that gentleman that stood up at the workshop.
Yeah, right? So there's this guy who came to one of our workshops, and we were there filming it. And he didn't look more than 65 years old. No. But he was 90? He was 90, right?
He wasn't 90.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
He said 81?
He's 84. 84. Which still, because still at 84, the man was super sharp. And he tells us how he has at least another 10 years. And I believe him, probably more than that.
I mean, I look as good as that guy did at 80.
Yes. He had it going on. And he was the only one in there that got a drink, too.
I mean, was he? Go, guy.
He really was.
Go, guy. Bravo to you, sir.
So, we started brainstorming on names and just kind of put a bunch of stuff down. And the lighthouse. I grew up really close to the lighthouse. And so we said Lighthouse Financial. And it worked.
And it worked.
It wasn't taken already.
Which is impressive.
Thanks. It was, and so that was 10 or 11, and that's who we've been since.
Nice. So you actually, look fantastic for whatever age you are.
Oh, thank you.
That might be attributed to. Did you grow up on? We're gonna get into curry now. Did you grow up on like Indian cooking?
I did grow up on. It was kind of so like how people will say like your home cooking and that soul food cooking too. For me, it was always Indian food and curries, dal and rice, and all of these different stews that did not look appetizing, and I didn't really probably always want them when I was a little girl, but I was being forced to eat them by my grandparents, and like my comfort food is definitely Indian food.
So who was making the food?
It was usually my grandparents, definitely not my mother. So my mom's parents, and then my aunt was very close to my mom's sister that's right, just as like her middle sister, one right above her. And we spent a lot of time together, and she would always cook for us. And I still think she's the best Indian cook I know.
There's so many ingredients into any Indian dish. Mm-hmm. Did your grandmother leave you a recipe book or like a card index or anything like that?
No recipe books or card indexes. I mean, my aunt bought me this Indian cookbook, but it was more like just like this really pretty, fancy, and it gave some history. So I think it was more just for learning, not necessarily to use to like cook from. I just from watching them. But it was mainly just from watching them, and then like what I would do once I decided that I wanted to start learning how to cook myself, and this is once I was an adult. I didn't do it as a child. I would help like cut potatoes and peel cut onions up or whatever, but so I would just call her and say, what should I do? And I be honest that I cheat when it comes to cooking my curries.
Oh no! How do you cheat? Okay, tell us how you cheat, and then we'll know what not to do.
No, do it. It's amazing. Okay. It works.
Give us the tricks. Then it's not cheating.
Yeah,
it's tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks is I use curry paste.
That's okay.
I don't go because I do have all of the different seasonings, and I have like a whole jar. I mean, all the little glass jars of all the different spices. Can you
name how many? Can you name? Just out of curiosity, do you think you could?
Well, I mean, so obviously you have curry powder, coriander, cumin. What is the one? The turmeric. Garam masala.
There we go. Now we're getting into things I couldn't think of.
the different types of chilies, green chilies, red chilies,
All the chilies.
all the chilies.
All the chilies.
You
But
use,
anyway, or you could just buy curry paste.
or you can just buy curry paste, and I really like curry paste because curry paste, I still feel like I get like an authentic meal. I get what gives me that comfort feeling that I had growing up, and so that's what's most important to me is when I'm fixing Indian food, it's for myself and my children because it's their favorite thing as well, and I get that same like nostalgia. So. And I love it, and I can eat it for every meal, breakfast, dinner, lunch.
Dinner.
I love
dessert?
It all. I mean, maybe dessert, maybe.
Okay, so what type?
Indian desserts, yes.
So are you making different styles of curries?
Yeah, so I'll buy the different curry paste. So you can buy like a mild or a hot. You can get like a tikka. So the red and green is more like on the Thai side.
Okay.
And so with Indian curries, and so what I make is different than what I get in restaurants. So because it's just like depending on what region you're from as well. So my family is more from the Southeast region, and so the curries are spicier than some of the curries you would get in Northern India. Or like a lot of times I know a lot of people that are like West Indian, like Trinidad, Tobago area, and the flavors can be similar, but to me they're nowhere near as spicy either as what I was used to eating. So I typically like to buy a hot curry paste and it just
because you're a spicy gal.
I'm a spicy gal. And so you kind of just get that going and make like a roux, I guess, is kind of like a stew or gravy with tomatoes and onions. And I'll use garlic and ginger paste. And those are all things that I buy at the Indian grocery store.
Where is the Indian grocery store?
The Indian grocery store I go to is off of like Gateway, like out 204.
Oh, all the way out there.
Yes, I know. I travel, and I don't like to leave the island.
No,
so
that's like on the other side of the world from here.
I know, and it's the only one. There used to be another one on 17, but they closed. I walked in there like 2 years ago, and it had become like a Mexican grocery store, and I was really confused because like, where's my stuff? And then like, okay, this is not the same.
No, they do have chilies though. Right?
They do have chilies. You can get some, and there's other like Asian stores you can get stuff in, and so so the main thing I need is I need to have some type of good curry paste. And then, sometimes I use fresh tomatoes, sometimes diced tomatoes, the onions. And then, you just kind of put it all in there. And then if I have some hot green chilies is what I like. But the special thing is once you make the curry, so I do it, and I'll make it with chicken. I'll do chicken, pork, beef. I've done it with like ground meat before. Just kind of, I'll do shrimp curry. And if I do shrimp curry, then maybe I'll add like a little coconut milk so you get more of that creamy type curry.
I like a creamy
You like the
milk
creamy?
curry. I do.
They're yummy.
Yeah.
It's yummy, and it breaks some of the heat down a little bit too.
Yeah,
if it's too spicy. And now one of our favorite things, so you have the curry, but then if you want to add a little, like seasoning, or how like a lot of people add hot sauce or something, usually you're going to add some type of pickle, like a hot pickle. So I don't know. Pickle? Yeah, it's like it'll be like, so it's a jar, and I just always called it pickle when I was growing up. And there was always saw these different kinds because I would have like a lime pickle. So it's literally like limes or lemon or mango, and it's pickled. And mixed in with some hot seasonings as well.
Like the whole lime.
Like the whole thing. So it'll be like, so you'll have chunks of it that you'll kind of scoop out of the jar, and you just mix a little bit of that with your food when you're eating it. And so it's like a chutney. So similar. So some people like to use like a chutney.
The rind and all?
The rind won't necessarily be in there. No,
just the inside.
Mm-hmm. Huh. Yeah, and there'll be all kinds. So sometimes it'll
I didn't know you could pickle citrus.
I don't know how they do it, but I'm gonna bring you a jar. Maybe that'll be a wedding gift.
Pickle, okay.
It's hot pickle. It's good. So I always have tons, and it seems like the Indian stuff I buy lasts forever. Like it never goes bad, and maybe that's why I'm in good health and so amazing because we just always ate food forever, and they always say you build your immune system like that sometimes.
Curry is like a medicine in and of itself.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so all of the things that are in curry, all those spices, all those ingredients are like super, super good for you. Mm-hmm. Like blood thinning, detoxification, et cetera, nutrients, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
It is really good for you.
Your skin is so shiny.
Oh, thank you. The stuff never goes bad. I use ghee. Do you know what ghee is? So ghee is like it's like a clarified butter. So it's like hard. Mm-hmm. And so I use that whenever I'm cooking Indian food because it's like things I don't know I have to necessarily do it that way, but because that's the way it was done. when I was growing up.
And I feel like that's probably the way it should be done.
I think so. The one thing I don't make is
it probably wouldn't taste quite right if you did it any different.
Right. It's like I have to have that weird smell of the ghee and not butter in the skillet because it just smells a little weird. I always did. I never liked it.
But yet you use it.
But I love the curry smell, and it's so overpowering. So you'll smell curry for like 3 days in my house after I make it, and it just feels so good. But my favorite
smells like
thing
home cooking.
It's this bread called paradas.
Oh, paradas, yes.
So paradas are my favorite.
Are you making the bread too?
I don't make paradas. I was gonna say I don't make paradas.
Dang it.
I buy them, but another tips and tricks from the Indian grocery store.
All right, let's go. Tips and tricks from the Indian grocery store.
You can buy them frozen, and they taste amazing. I keep them at my house. My kids warm them up, and I'll just put them with like butter and an egg for breakfast. I mean, they're good. So
yeah, but you're not getting them at Kroger's though.
Not at Kroger.
No.
At the Indian grocery store. Indian grocery store has them.
So
yeah.
if you're in Savannah area,
I mean any
in your city.
There's Indian grocery stores all over the place. I mean, the one we have here is okay, but there's a few in Atlanta I've been to that were amazing. So you can get some.
You're gonna have to take me to the Indian grocery store someday.
Yeah, we'll find. Let's go on a little road trip for the Indian grocery store, and we can try to like interview some of the owners.
Yeah, and
get some tips and tricks from them.
And then you can make me curry.
Yeah, I'll make you curry.
And then we'll try the curry, and it'll be a whole.
Make you curry, and then what I also want to make you is dal.
Dal, yes.
Do you know what dal is?
I've heard the term dal before.
DAHL.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure I've probably had it before.
It's lentils, so it's like a lentil soup.
Yeah, it's the soup.
There's a few different types of dal that you can make, depending on which lentil you're using and the way that you cook it. So some of them, the one that I like is called masoor dal. It's MASOOR.
Masoor dal.
It's kind of like the pink. They're orange, but they call it pink. But really, they're little orange lentils, and you have to pressure cook them. So that way they really cook down and add lots and lots of water.
Otherwise, it would take like 3 days.
Right. So you pressure cook it. And it's funny. I remember my grandfather, with the old pressure cookers that, I have the Instant Pot and that works great. Mm-hmm. But those old pressure cookers that you burn, you have to really be careful because you will burn yourself.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about with the little lid thing? And you just see the steam going up. Yeah, those are dangerous.
The Instant Pot gets pretty hot too if you but it has the little button and stuff, so you don't have to go near the actual steam.
You have something that's kind of letting you know.
But before you had to pull that lever.
Right.
Right. And
So, but the pressure cook, and so you pressure, so meanwhile, while you're pressure cooking your lentils, then you do mix some seasonings. That's when I would take, usually a lot of turmeric, lots of onions, and just tomato and a lot of different flavors, and you kind of get all of that going together so you have some good flavor for the lentils once they cook down, and then you let all that cook together.
So it soaks into the lentils as well.
And dal is delicious, and it's such a good source of fiber.
Delicious.
It's so good. My mom gets really excited because dal was the most recent thing that I learned to make about 4 or 5 years ago. I just started making it myself. And my mom was super excited because I can make the dal now. I have to say now,
she doesn't have to. I'm surprised.
I'm
surprised she didn't just send you to grandma's just to learn how to cook so you could come home and cook for her when you were a kid. In hindsight,
maybe. I don't think I would have really. I don't know if I would have done that because I don't really like cooking. I like cooking when I want to cook. I don't like the chore of cooking. But if I know if I know I want to make a nice Indian meal for friends and family, since it's something I can introduce to others, then I enjoy doing that. But not every day. And I always make a lot that's going to last.
It's a special occasion. Moya's a special occasion cook.
I'm a special occasion cook. Now that my kids are old enough to cook for themselves, I'm a special occasion cook. That's right.
Retired. She's retired.
I'm retired. I'm retired daily chef, daily cook.
Yeah, kids, you got. Well, who are they going to hang out with to learn how to? I guess you have to show them how to make curry.
Yeah, if they decide they want to learn. My daughter kind of has, because she's watched me and my aunt. And so I'm curious. Will they want to? I don't even know which one of them likes.
Because it's not written down anywhere. So if you don't tell them, It doesn't get passed along. This is like the last of your oral tradition.
They can Google it. I'm serious because I think about my aunt, like she told me how to make the doll, but now I still just I'll read recipes all the time online just to kind of get some other ideas, and you can Google everything. Google it.
Oh man, we have really reached that point, haven't we?
I know.
You're like, yeah, oral traditions, the old family recipes.
I think the only tradition that might stay in our family is the way we drink our tea. Like, that's the only thing that I feel like my kids still copy is just drinking hot tea with milk and sugar.
Okay, so I have no real rich, like, heritage history, right? I mean, I think I'm Irish, English, and German. Who knows? I've had a 23andMe in a dresser drawer.
Oh,
for about
why haven't you done it?
6 years now. Me and Jordan ordered them like 6 years ago.
And
they're still sitting in the drawer.
You just don't want to?
We just forget. For 6 years we just forgot to spit in that stupid thing and mail it off.
I sent mine off and it was I loved it. I loved when I found out my brother and my mom and I all did it.
We should probably do it. We mean to do it.
Some people are like, I can't believe you're going to do that because now your DNA is out there and everybody's going to know everything about you.
Yeah, but maybe we could help catch a killer.
Right.
You're right. Maybe I'm related to some psychopath.
And I'm like, and who cares if it's out? Like, and if somebody really wants to know that much about me, then great.
Google her.
Google it. No, don't Google me. Don't do it. Don't.
Just Google her. But anyway, so like my mom put together this like family cookbook from like my great grandma and like my grandpa, and it's all just like casseroles from the 70s and like Jello molds and cookies, a lot of different cookies. But it's nothing like. It's interesting only because nobody would ever make any of that stuff today, right? Like just. Even the green bean casserole at Thanksgiving is like a super oddity that only appears on Thanksgiving, right? Like,
I know.
No one's at home making.
But it's on the French fried onions box. The recipe.
Yeah, but those are really good on burgers too.
I know, but I'm like, why isn't it made more?
Because it's
a holiday dish.
It's a holiday dish. It's a casserole. It's like all those.
Yeah, all the casseroles.
All the casseroles, like.
Like you can't even have cranberry sauce except at Thanksgiving. It's like a rule.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
But you can, though.
It's
at the store all year long.
It's always there. Yeah.
You know what? Have some cranberry sauce in July. Just do it.
Yeah, I don't even
live on the edge.
I don't used to live for that cranberry sauce. Just the jelly
kind, whole. Want the mold? Slice. Put it on a chicken sandwich. Get crazy with it.
That's yummy.
On a chicken sandwich?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and like chicken salad with craisins, right? Or cranberry and chicken. Yeah.
I'm gonna be super hungry.
I am super hungry. My mom made tuna noodle casserole.
Hot or cold?
Hot. Probably like once a week when I was a kid.
I love tuna noodle casserole.
I haven't had it in years. I can taste it right now, just like thinking about it. Right?
Yeah.
I can taste the creamy hot tuna, which is good, but like nobody's making that anymore, are they?
I make cold tuna pasta salad, but yeah.
Right. I make tuna salad sandwiches.
Yeah. Well, I do, but yeah, nobody makes. You're right. And I like hot tuna casseroles, but my kids don't because I tried to make tuna. I asked the other day my daughter, I was like, "Do you like tuna helper?" And she was like, "No." I was like, "Okay." I was trying to think of something easy I could make at home for them.
Did you pivot to hamburger helper? Did you ever?
No, because I don't want to make hamburger helper because I already had a lot of tuna at home. So.
Yeah, tuna melt.
I like tuna melts.
I like tuna melts.
They're not big. My kids aren't tuna. I love tuna.
It's a dying thing too. Like you ever go to a restaurant, how often do you see a tuna melt on the menu?
You don't ever see a tuna melt.
No.
Tuna melts used to be really special to my brother and I.
They're everywhere.
Fancy back in the day when we would make them at home. Like we felt all special making tuna melts for ourselves.
We did that too. No, we did that.
It's like, let's make this exciting.
Because you put it on the bun, right? First you make the salad, and then you put like the cheese on it. You put it in the toaster oven. And it gets all melty on top there.
Good stuff. The tuna's warm.
You eat it with a knife and a fork because you're fancy.
Yes, I do like to eat with a knife and fork too, or spoon and fork. I eat almost everything with a spoon and fork because that was how I was raised eating too. Because that's the way that, so you use a spoon and fork. So yeah, it's difficult for me not to eat without. It's hard to eat without a spoon.
So you're just always using the spoon.
So you're always
put it onto the fork.
You're always using the fork to push it onto the spoon.
Oh.
And I can even cut things up with a knife, with a fork and spoon.
Well, sure. Sometimes they use a spoon on bananas.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh, yeah. So same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just got so used to eating everything with a spoon and fork. So
spoon and fork. Is that Indian thing?
It is. I guess. I don't know. So some things, I don't know if they're Indian, if they're British. I just know that's what they were in my house growing up. On my mom's side. Because on my dad's side, it was a little different. They weren't Indian over there.
It was knife and fork.
It was, or hands or your fork. No, it was a knife and fork.
Your hands. I mean, I was probably eating my tuna melt with my hands. So
yeah, I was probably eating the tuna melt with my hands, but then scooping up the tuna that fell out with the spoon.
But if you're going to be fancy with the tuna melt, knife and fork.
Yes.
I noticed. So season 3 of my show will be out, Chefs of Texas, and we're watching a barbecue episode, and I never noticed why we were there or while I was like watching dailies or anything, but Jordan never picks up or eats her food with her hands. She's cutting the rib. Josh's like, you notice that she's cutting the rib? And I'm like, she is the only one not just like picking it
and biting it
and just like, it's a rib. You're supposed to eat it with your hands. Is that
like, how she eats normally?
Just like struggling with
I know
the
a
rib.
lot of people that are like that though.
It's very English to eat a banana with a knife and fork.
Mm-hmm. My grandfather will eat everything with a knife and fork.
That just
Pizza, everything. I mean, if we're going to get fast food, we have to put it on a plate
he is
for
not
him.
cutting up the Big Mac.
Yes, and he would no, and then because we're so used to like you cut like little pieces of everything on your plate and eat it all together. So it was always the Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich was his favorite.
He
would take that sandwich and then he would have his French fries and literally use the knife and fork to cut some of the sandwich, cut a piece of the fry, and then put that in his mouth.
Wow.
So, but some people just don't like to eat stuff off the bones. So I knew some.
Well, yeah.
I don't mind.
That is impressive though. I would love to see your grandfather.
Yeah, I wish I could, but I'm going to show you next time we're together. If we're eating, I'm too
hungry to eat like that. Like it just takes way too much time.
Yeah.
I just want to shove it in my face. I mean, I guess that's probably was your grandfather a very skinny man?
He was small. Yeah, you've seen my mom, and so that's where she got her size from. So he was always a small man and very fit, very athletic.
And one bite at a time.
One bite at a time.
That's how we're supposed to eat.
But that's how I think he was
supposed to chew shit like 100 times.
You're supposed to like chew it until it's nothing before you swallow it.
But when I was a kid growing up, I remember being told those things. Like, you got to chew it 100 times and you got to brush your hair like 50 times or whatever.
And now,
nobody tells, I don't even know.
Now we're just in this world of like, everything has to get done like this. But yeah, it was all about patience before.
Yeah, chew faster. No, enjoy your food. Your food's not going to run away from you. My grandmother said that to me so many times.
It's not going to
run away. You know,
it's true. But you know, it's a cultural thing because even sometimes if you go to other countries, like your dining experience is like this whole like 3-hour thing. I mean, it's not like you're getting all these courses of food, but it's just you take time. You take so much more time than you do.
You maybe get an amuse-bouche, you have some wine, eventually an appetizer, you have some more wine.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's this whole thing. It's like, oh my God.
Maybe you have some cheese, and maybe you have some meats, you have some more wine.
I know. I'm going to want food and wine now.
Yeah. Gosh, I'm not going to be able to do that till tomorrow.
Not till tomorrow. That's
well,
okay.
I can have the food part. But now
wine.
I just want food and wine. Now I want a cheese plate. I want a charcuterie really bad. And
a really good charcuterie would be nice. But
say la vie.
You don't get the charcuterie. So I know how to cook other stuff other than Indian food, though.
Oh, do you?
I mean, a little bit.
Like what?
I'm really good with, I'm not really good with anything, but anything that I try to put the love into, I do all right. But I mean, I can make like regular soul food. I mean, because on my other side, my dad's family, my grandmother, that's all that she was making in her house. So, you know, like chicken and greens and
Grits.
macaroni and cheese and
You a
grits.
grits girl?
I'm definitely a grits girl. I have to be. My kids are like obsessed with grits.
Impressive.
So yeah, I love
Oatmeal. How do you feel about oatmeal then?
I like oatmeal because I grew up eating oatmeal all the time. I have a funny story about oatmeal.
Oh, okay. Oatmeal story.
So my mom, who really did not cook at all, but she prepared food at times for us, but thankfully there was usually other people in our life, my brother and I, that were feeding us. But she would make oatmeal for us, or usually before we'd go to school, and I was probably like 7, I think, or 8 years old, we would get oatmeal. But one night she surprised us and she made Jell-O. And we were so excited that we were going to get dessert because that wasn't always a thing. But the Jell-O wasn't going to be set in time. So, of course, we had to go to bed because we had to go to bed at 8 o'clock. Like, it did not matter.
No, she teased you with the Jell-O?
Well, she'd always do stuff like that. We got to stay up after. We got to stay up past 8 on Monday nights because Alf came on at 8 o'clock. So we got to stay up until 8:30.
Loved Alf.
But this one time, she's like, y'all can have the Jell-O with your breakfast in the morning. You can have Jell-O before school. So we're like, oh yeah, like this is awesome. So Jacob and I get downstairs to the table, ready for school, and this lady has put the lemon Jell-O inside the oatmeal. It's like oatmeal with lemon Jell-O chunks. And once again, I was raised where like you have food in front of you, you clean your plate, like you finish your food. And it's like, seriously, Mom? What? I thought it would be good together. We're like, why would you think that? And
let me eat my Jell-O and then I'll eat the oatmeal.
Oh, so that was kind of a disaster.
How was it?
It was horrible. Like, it was horrible because we did try to eat it. I remember Jacob and I trying to like put the Jell-O in our mouth, and you try to like get the oatmeal off of it. It was bad. It was bad, and I'll never let her live that one down. Like seriously, like you should just not. Like, why would you even think to do that together?
Never cook again, Mom.
So, but yeah, so oatmeal's okay. But another funny thing about oatmeal is my children now, like they love their maple and brown sugar oatmeal. But it's something about if my mom makes it for them, they're like, no, we need Nana to make the oatmeal. They love her oatmeal. Her instant oatmeal.
There's extra sugar? What's going on there?
It's like the I guess how much milk she puts in it. She doesn't just she does the water and the milk, or just milk. I don't know.
Just the milk.
But they won't eat oatmeal that I would make, but they'll eat the oatmeal she makes.
Heavy cream oatmeal. Like,
ooh, I love heavy cream.
It's not good for you after that.
No, it's not good for you. I love heavy cream and half and half.
It's creamy.
It's so
creamy and delicious.
It's so good. Like those little coffee creamers. When I was a kid, I just want to like shoot them like I'm taking a shot. Give me the creamers.
My sister ate mayonnaise by the spoonful.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like she'd make mayonnaise sandwiches. It was just mayonnaise on bread, and that was.
I know people that
was her jam. She loved it.
Mayonnaise is good.
And she liked butter for a while too. She would just eat straight butter.
Wow.
Just like.
Well, I guess she's getting those fat sources. She's got it covered.
I mean, my mom we were raised by hippies, so we were being fed bulgur wheat for the first half of our lives.
Oh.
So maybe she just did need some.
She's like, I need something. I need this. I need this. She's making up. Hey, I get it. Mayonnaise is amazing.
And I did grilling with mayonnaise, like just your grilled cheese. I recently
good.
Found out you could do that.
You can. It's good.
Yeah. So. And way easier to spread. You just ripping it back before butter spread, right? When it was always soft in the fridge, and you had to get the butter out, and it was cold, and you were like, oh, and you don't want to wait for it to like get soft, so you like scrape at it and then try to put it on your like bread, and then just shred the bread.
Yeah.
And it was terrible.
I just like the holes in the bread.
And you're like, man, I should have set the butter out, but I didn't.
I know. I'm like sticking it in the microwave.
And now there's butter spreads, and if I would have known, I would have just used mayonnaise.
It's a good substitute. I like both. I want butter and mayonnaise on my grilled cheese.
Butter and mayonnaise? My grandpa put butter and peanut butter on the peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Oh, I love that. I love butter and peanut butter. So good together.
But it's already peanut butter. Why do we need the butter?
It just tastes so much better. That was something else that was special when I was a kid. When I would get something with butter and peanut butter. Oh my God. So good. So good.
Mine was cinnamon toast. So butter just on regular like white toast, and then cinnamon and sugar mixed together, and you sprinkle it over, and you put it back in the toaster on broil for a second.
My brother loved that.
Candied up the
Candied up your toast.
Uh-huh.
Did you do honey on the toast?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't a honey fan.
Peanut butter, honey. I mean,
Peanut butter,
the Elvis peanut butter, honey, and banana.
Mm-hmm. Peanut butter. What about banana and mayonnaise sandwich?
No.
I bet your sister would like that. Those are good. Oh my God. Yeah, those are good. I remember because we would have peanut butter, but then I started eating mayonnaise and banana sandwiches. And as a kid, they were good.
Good, huh?
Yes.
I mean, I guess it's just egg and oil, so it's almost like a breakfast.
I don't know. It's something about it. I liked it.
I'm not going to say I'm going to go try it. But
it's okay. When you come over for Indian food, that can be the appetizer. I have some little sliders.
I guess maybe if it was like a nice little crusty piece of bread with like butter and a banana. I don't know.
Not butter,
or
mayonnaise.
Not butter, mayonnaise.
You don't have to try it. You don't have to try it. You don't have to try it because I can't vouch how good it is now. But it's like the memory sometimes. Like it was delicious.
All right, we should try it together then.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Banana and mayonnaise sandwich.
I watch it. It's gonna be amazing.
Here we go. We're gonna make a TikTok for that.
That would be fun. That would actually be really a good idea. Yes.
All right. What are you having for dinner tonight? Do you even know?
Mm-mm.
No, I don't know either.
Maybe I'll make some quesadillas because I made some taco meat yesterday, and because that's what I'll do for my kids. I'll go ahead and have like staple stuff if I know I'm not going to be around, and so I did. I made a bunch of taco meat and beans.
Repurpose.
Yeah, and so I might just make a quesadilla, but I had errands, so maybe I'll eat out. Who knows?
Who knows? All right.
I'm going to eat quiche after this. Quiche Lorraine.
Mm-hmm. Tell Lorraine I said hello. Where can we follow you at? Where should we go find more Moya and Lighthouse Financial?
Oh, I like all my social medias.
Yeah.
You could follow me. My Instagram is Lighthouse Financial Moya. My company is Li-Fi Group. And on Facebook, you can find us at Lighthouse Financial Group as well.
Cool. So go check out these ladies.
Yeah.
Go have some curry. And if you want to make some curry, don't worry about it. Just Google it.
Just Google it.
And also make sure to get some ghee, some
ghee.
Make sure to use ghee. Super important.
And get the curry paste.
Make your life easy. Next time I make curry, we tried to use all the spices and they come out quite right.
It's difficult. I'm gonna show the curry paste is gonna be a game changer for you.
Lifesaver. Hacks. Curry hacks.
Curry hacks.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for listening. Go check out Moya. Check out Lighthouse Financial. Go watch my TV show.
Yeah, go watch his TV show.
Cheers.